Back to another episode of Cat Sitter Corner. This week I want to focus on social media for the solo sitter. This should be applicable to anybody who does who's working alone. Totally get it. You've got a very small amount of time. You need your social media to actually work for you and not against you. And you listen to a lot of these other coaches and channels, and you're looking things up and you're really confused. So I want to put some of that confusion to rest for the solo sitter. And we do that by creating a content strategy and a content schedule and focusing in on our target audience and our target clientele. Here he comes. He's going to come up. I'm being surrounded. He'll come up here in a minute. His name is Sooty, so he's going to be a little bit of a distraction today. When you're looking to do some content, you're actually taking off your business manager hat, you're taking off your financial hat, and you're putting on a content creator hat. And for the solo sitter, the content hat that you put on needs to be efficient for you. You don't want to be stuck creating content every day for your social media platform. Whether you're doing that on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, any of these channels, you only want to do something once for the week. Most of us who are solo sitters, we really don't have time to do this multiple times every day and spend several hours every day doing content. Doesn't happen. So what I like to work from on my platforms, well, actually I should give you guys a little bit of a history. Back in 2020, unfortunately, my social media got hacked and I actually lost control of my Facebook platforms. The only platform that survived the hack was the original Finicky Cat Sitting and Behavior Facebook page, which is still there. It's still up. I'm unable to access it and I'm unable to merge it. So it's just sitting out there, hanging out there with close to 400 followers on that page. And my Instagram account probably had 800 or so followers. And that I credit my Instagram page more so than my Facebook page. I credit my Instagram page with driving business to my website and with actually getting me discovered by Callisto Media to write my Understanding Cat Behavior book during 2020. So that's where we're at. The collapse of my social media platforms and not being able to reach out to anybody at Meta, not being able to do anything with the bots. The bot requested a copy of my driver's license. The bot didn't think it was real. So there was a whole bunch of stuff that happened. And the whole lack of human customer service skills really left a bad taste in my mouth for Facebook and Instagram. It's taken me close to 3 years to jump back on those platforms. So with that in mind, when you go to check out my social media, I'm basically probably in the same boat as most of you, is relearning some of the changes in the algorithms and all that stuff. We're not going to take a deep dive into that. We're going to just focus on what do you put up on the social media platforms? What should you be putting there? So let's talk about a basic strategy. One of the things that you need to think about is, I like to think about my social media as an extension of my website. So if I treat each social media post as an opportunity to drive people to my website, that changes a little bit what you're putting up on social media. So in that regard, you want to consider, if you're going to invest all the time in social media, you want that return on your investment of your time. So it can act as free advertising for you. And that's one way to think about it. So my strategy going forward for 2024 is to utilize what I call, and what is known in the marketing industry as, pillar content each week. So each week I'm going to be going in and creating pillar content. What is pillar content? It is a single piece of content, whether it is a blog post or a video post or a trending item online. These can act as your pillar content. Somewhere in the... So when you're looking at that kind of stuff, you may be looking at, as listed in your social media planner, the pet life hacks, maybe your business services. If those of you who followed me last week, I ran a whole week of my business services on social media. It may be for your stories on your reels, behind the scenes things. It may be that you're gearing up for a local event. If you go out to my new Facebook page, you'll see during October, I was gearing up for the International Cat Show. So that was a big event here, literally taking place less than a mile from my house. So I was participating in that huge event. So those are types of things that you can look at. And you can kind of approach that from, on a whim, on a fly, whatever is happening, or you can actually plan to cover those things. And what you'll do for that is you're going to choose a main platform. I like to focus on just one platform at a time because sometimes the platforms can be a little bit, the demographics on the platforms are a little bit different. So that is something to be aware of. So like Facebook is a little bit of an older demographic, is where Instagram is a little bit younger. And of course, TikTok is generally much younger. So keeping those things in mind. And then like the demographic for YouTube is just about everybody, because we're all looking to learn something, hopefully. So you're going to take that single piece of pillar content and you're going to distill it down into 5 separate posts, all pointing back to your website. So let's say you're going to take a blog post from your website. You're not just going to go, okay, this is what I'm posting on social media today. Boom. No. You want to go into that blog post and pull out a key point, and then maybe slip over into Canva and create a meme or a picture or a highlighted section with that is an actual visual to go with that key point. Then you're going to post that on, say, Monday. And you're going to then link that back to the blog post. Then let's say on Tuesday, you want to go back into, say, Canva or Adobe Express and pull a video representation of your blog post, and then point that back to your website. And then maybe on Wednesday, you want to post the whole blog and point that back to your website. And then on Thursday, maybe you're posting a testimonial that references that blog post and point that back to your website. And then on Friday, you can post, did you see? Did you get? Did you this? Did you that? A good example is this week I am posting through on my cat behavior consulting end of my business, and we're focusing on cat fights and cat reintroductions. So in my planning schedule, I have a blog post that went up way back in 2020, so I'm repurposing an existing piece of content that has had a high engagement rate, and I'm using that to post back to my website. So when you do, as a busy pet sitter, and a solo sitter, that whole strategy suddenly eliminates coming up with brand new content every single day. So you just want to think about that for a little bit, that you are repurposing and reusing the same content every day. Well, that's awful boring, you might be thinking. You might be thinking, well, what's going on? Why would you even do that? Why would you repeat yourself day after day after day? And the reason that you would want to do that, depending on what platform you're using, if people are just scrolling through, they're going to scroll through and they might miss it on Monday. They might miss it on Tuesday. They might see it on Wednesday when you post the whole thing. They might miss it the whole week until you get to Friday and you're giving away a free download to whatever. So there are, that's the other half of the social media, to tackle what you're posting on your page. So that's how I go about setting up my basic strategy every week. You can set that up if you want to do a full-blown plan for the month. You can say, for me, it was last week I hit all of my services. This week I'm focusing in on my cat behavior consulting. Next week I'll focus on cat sitting. And the week after that I'll be focusing on overnight pet sitting. And all of a sudden, I already have my ideas there. And I know pretty much how my content is going to flow through the week. So that's what you want to consider and think about, is taking one piece of pillar content and then breaking it into smaller chunks and posting it throughout the week. You have to decide what it is for your business, just like I have to decide what it is for my business. So I have a lot of content out there, between having a book and a YouTube channel and a blog and my website, I have a lot of pieces of content I can pull from. If you don't have a lot of pieces of content to pull from, some things you can do is focus on what those online trends are in the pet industry or in the veterinary industry even. Which I have done in the past with focusing on some of the new medications that are coming out for cats. For the dog walkers, there's that whole new dog flu pneumonia thing going on. You can focus on that. You can focus on telling your pet parents how to find pet food recalls. You can do all sorts of things, but the key point into garnering traffic back to your website is you have to have, whatever that content is, it needs to lead them back to your website. So in my case, we're going back, we're leading back this week to my website, to a particular blog, and then we're also leading back to my website to a free handout on cat introductions that they can download. It's a free download. And with that free download, I am then garnering, to get that free download, obviously they have to give me an email. So I'm now also building my email list as another piece of my social media strategy for 2024. I hope that helps give you some ideas about a strategy for your social media planning. If you like this type of content and you like these kinds of videos, please like, subscribe, and share Cat Sitter Corner. Talk to you soon. See you on the next video.